Javier Assad went 4 innings. That's quite the usual for him, is it not? Why is he a starter? How are you a starting pitcher if all you can go is 4 innings? Be real with me on that. No, really. It's like, oh, well, they burned through all their pitchers. Again, middle relief pitchers. You throw 20 tosses, 20 or 30 pitches, and then that's it. You pitch to sometimes one guy. Well, not anymore. Now you got to pitch to 3. But you pitch like 1 inning, and you throw 20, and then you have a full next 24 hours, and you can't be used. So why are you in the MLB? Why are you in the pros? Be real. Come on. Kyle Schwarber. Oh, we don't need him. Oh, Kyle Schwarber. Oh, this organization. Oh, we don't need him. Oh, okay. Well, he kicked your ass last night. He kicked your ass last night. Good job. Ian Happ. You know what? What was it? Bottom of the 8th. 2 outs. 2 men on first. He struck out looking on 3 straight pitches. 3 straight pitches. There were men on base. They needed to score. Nice. Pete Crow Armstrong can't hit water if he fell out of a boat. How do you play 4 years in the MLB and you don't know how to hit? If you're at a job or anywhere for 4 years and you don't know what the hell you're doing, would you still be there? No. What? Ian Happ has a no-trade contract. You can't move him. Nico Hoerner. I like Hoerner, but they're going to be paying him till 2045. Nice. Like no one learned from the Bobby Bonilla situation. Okay. Matt Shaw, who that one's funny to me. They didn't have a third base. Well, correction, they did. But his name was Nick Madrigal, so they weren't going to play him. So it's a revolving door at third base. They don't have a third baseman. Then they get a guy by the name of Christopher Morel. Christopher Morel was according to 670 The Score, and Leela Rahimi and Dan Bernstein and all these other people said that Christopher Morel was so physically imposing as an athlete to the point that they have to find him a position. He can't just be a DH. He can't just play the outfield. Oh, no. That wasn't good enough. Okay, they put him at third, and he sucked. Put him at third base, and he was horrible. The worst I've ever seen. But it's okay because he hit a home run every 5 other games. Nice. Okay. He can't play anywhere. He can't play anywhere in the field. Should have been your DH, but no, you screwed that one up. And then you get Matt Shaw, who was in fact the only third baseman. The only third baseman that they had. Didn't want to play him last year at third base. Didn't want to play him at all. They didn't want to play him at all at third base. So, you play him at third. He played decent, and then you move him to the outfield because you don't have a backup right fielder. Because Seiya Suzuki got hurt, you don't have a backup outfielder. Really? Thank you. At this point, what you should do. Because, you know what? You have to beg the question. Considering Happ has a no-trade deal, how much further can he go running around left field in the way, don't get me wrong, Ian Happ is a very good left fielder, but it's how much longer can he go? You know what? You got to change things up. Why don't you put Ian Happ at DH? He's a switch hitter. You can have Armstrong in left or center. You could put Suzuki back in right field. Or if you want Shaw to learn the outfield, they say left field is the easiest one. You can make him play left. You call up one of your AAA, AA people. Oh, but no, you're not going to do that. See, you're losing games now. If you lose, like the next 4 or 5 sets of series, which you very well may, at this point, because you're digging yourself into a hole to the point of where it's okay, and the concept is, well, they're losing now. They're losing now. So they can still work their way back. Hopefully. We hope. But how much further is this year going to go to the point of you can't make it back? And the argument's going to be, oh, well, they were hurt. Oh, their guys were hurt. They don't have the offense to justify that. Bush, Hoerner, Kelly, Shaw, Ian Happ, Swanson were never hurt. They at no point of any junction this year were they ever hurt. They were ready to go from day one. Other than Hoerner, and I know Swanson hit a home run last night, but overall, so far, other than Hoerner, overall, they're not playing well at all offensively. So, all these guys are hurt. Well, I still want to know, how did Cade Horton break a rib before playoffs last year? How did he break a rib before playoffs last year? I demand an answer from that. 670 the score will not give that question. Or 104.3 or whatever they're called. You know, ESPN 1450 in Central Illinois will never give that question. ESPN 1000 up in Chicago, they'll never give that question. Bruce Levine, who's a reporter, been reporting the Cubs for like 30, 40 years, he won't give that question. I will. You know, Cade Horton, injured again. He's a bust. Ben Brown is a failed starter, failed relief pitcher. You know what? You're in a game. You're in a blowout game where, yeah, sure, yeah, you scored some runs off a AAA pitcher late in the game. A guy that they just called up. You know, the same guy that they just called up. That guy struck out Pete Crow Armstrong. Struck his ass right out. Like it was easy. It was easy for that guy. I'll say, oh, you're not a Cub fan. You know, no, you play like shit, I'm going to call you out on it. See, if they were battling in these games, which they're really not, and they're losing by 1 run or 2 runs, okay, it'd be different. But you got guys that look like they have no idea what the hell to do at the plate. They're terrible. They're looking awful. Craig Counsell sitting on his ass and not doing anything. Sitting on his ass and making stupid decisions. You know, you're in the middle of the season now. You're in real active games now. You wanted to know if Shaw can play all these other positions. Why didn't you fully utilize that in spring training? I know you played him in right, but you want to know if Shaw and Kelly and Amaya can play first and play all these magnitude of other different positions. It's making me wonder, how come you did that in spring training, Craig? Oh, I forgot, because to you, spring training doesn't matter. Your exact quote. You are the only manager. Craig Counsell is the only manager in my entire 24 years of life to ever hear say spring training doesn't matter. And this guy's the highest paid guy. This guy's the highest paid baseball coach in America. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Say, oh, you're not a real Cub fan if you complain. Yeah, you are. What? What? I should just be happy that Hoerner went 0 for 3? You know, Ian Happ. Tremendous left fielder. But, good God, when he gets in the batter's box, you don't know what you're going to get. Amaya has been hurt twice. You know, Carson Kelly last year was an amazing find. In all fairness, I don't think they even make playoffs if they don't have Carson Kelly. You know, I said last year Carson Kelly was the best player that they had, and everybody, you know, looked at me like I was stupid. Well, you found Carson Kelly. You lucked into Carson Kelly. You didn't have anything else. You know, he's your catcher and you want him to play first base? You're trying to tell me you don't have any other first baseman? So you have no one else that can play first base. Okay, this is what you do. You need a first baseman, you call one up today. You call one up today for tomorrow. That's what you do. Because now it's all men on deck. That's what it is. And you paid $400 million and they're not pulling their weight. The horses are not loading the wagons. Not doing it. They're not doing it. I don't get it. Really don't get it. You know, Kyle Schwarber kicked your ass. You know, letting Kyle Schwarber go for nothing, that's a good decision there. Nice. Good choice. Failure. You traded the World Series team. You traded away the World Series roster. And all you have 6 years after is a wild card team to show for it? You failed. You failed.